Hey guys, it's Adam. The cast and crew at Living Podcariously and the Twisted Tin love to support our community in any way that we can. I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Steve Mogel for setting up this cool interview you're about to hear. I had the opportunity to go out today and interview some of the cast members of the Alice in Wonderland production being put on at the Surfside Players Playhouse in Cocoa Beach. That's the community-run theater of Cocoa Beach. It's called Surfside Players. You can find out more information about them at surfsideplayers.com. Now, I want you to understand, Surfside Players didn't pay Living Podcariously. This isn't a paid sponsor. This is just something that's really cool in our community, and we wanted to share it with our listeners of Living Podcariously. So you locals, you might know about the Surfside Players Theater and what they do over there for their productions. If you don't, then you need to go check this out. It's really cool, 100% volunteer-run organization, and they put on some really, really amazing shows. For those of you that are out of town, if you're going to come to Cocoa Beach ever, be sure to check the schedule of plays and musical theater and anything that they've got going on down there, because they're always going to have something for you to see. It's a really, really entertaining group of people and really well put together production, cast, crew, lighting, sound, the whole nine yards. They do a fantastic job. So what you're about to hear is interviews from the cast members of the latest Alice in Wonderland productions. So background on what I got to do today. So Steve called me and said, hey, we would love to have you come out and do an interview with some of the cast members of Alice in Wonderland out here at the Playhouse. And I'm on board with that because I love supporting local theater and local community activities like the theater. So I hopped all over it. So I loaded up the mobile equipment this morning, headed over, and they put me right in the middle of the stage, right in the middle of the set and everything. And the cast members came out one by one and I got to do interviews with them. With all that being said, let's check out the interviews. All right, so we're sitting here on stage, and we've got the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. So first of all, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Adam.
Yeah.
It was definitely my first experience doing anything like a podcast.
Well, rabbits usually don't hop on air very often, do they?
No, we're hopping off. We're very late for everything.
How has your shows been going out here so far?
So far, the last 2 days have been amazing. We've had a crowd a little over 70, and everybody's saying they're loving the energy, the costumes. So far, so good.
No, that's really cool. I've seen a few of the plays out here, but I've never seen Alice in Wonderland. And you guys are airing that this weekend as well as next, right? You have another airing next weekend?
That is correct. This weekend, today, our show would be at 2 o'clock. And next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday at 8, and Sunday at 2 for the matinee show.
Nice. Yeah. So as the White Rabbit, what is your favorite experience in Alice in Wonderland?
My favorite experience is just fully embodying the rabbit. You know, when I'm on stage and I'm just hopping around, I was watching videos of rabbits and their mannerisms to try to get a feel.
Really?
Yeah. So whenever I'm, projecting like a rabbit, I want to actually look like a rabbit. And so to fully indulge in that and see everybody in costume, and then you realize that this is Alice in Wonderland, like this is Lewis Carroll's, masterpiece, and
yep.
that, from Disney and to 1985 movie, it just, to be able to be a part of this and see it all put together it's really amazing.
So we could technically say without your role in this, Alice would never find Wonderland.
No, right? She would not. She wouldn't.
You're responsible for the entire thing as the White Rabbit. You take that credit and that blame maybe, but she does everything because of you.
I am so responsible. She's tempted to follow me down the rabbit hole, and that she does, and it's just one thing after another.
That's a lot of weight on a little rabbit's tail, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying, you got a lot of responsibility in this.
And you know what? I don't even look at it as my responsibility. I'm running late, and so she just happens to follow me.
Nice.
Yeah. So, when at the very opening scene, I'm actually part puppeteer at that point. Because you don't see me in full character, you just see a puppet. And so the puppet jumps down the rabbit hole, and she's like, "Well, I'm very curious, so let me go down."
Huh. Interesting. I think that's where the term, the age-old adage is going down a rabbit hole and can't find a rabbit. That comes from the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, follow the White Rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what was that from?
The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah.
That movie was amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. As the White Rabbit, if you could tell Brevard County listeners for our show something to encourage them to come out to see you individually on stage, what would you tell them?
Oh man, that's never.
Put you under the gun for that, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, if you've read the book, this is like the book. There's a lot of parts from the book, but the book is so long that we shortened it. But we took all the core parts of it and put it together, and it's very fast-paced, very, very well put together. And if you like great costumes and great actors, the whole cast, they're wonderful people to work with. It runs and flows so smoothly that you're like, this is a really good, well put together. Like, for my first time seeing Alice in Wonderland on a play, like, I'm more than happy to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool deal. All right. So that is the White Rabbit.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you for hopping on mic with me.
Yeah.
See what I did there? You see what I'm full of puns. I'm a punny guy.
I must hop away. I'm going to be late. I'm late.
There you
the queen
go.
will chop off my head.
All right. Well, go hop in character, and we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Adam.
So we heard from the White Rabbit. Now we have the Caterpillar. So how are you? I'm Adam, by the way.
Hello, Adam.
Nice
I'm
to-
Annie England.
Annie English. Annie English?
England, like
England,
the country.
like the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you play the role of the Caterpillar.
Yes, I play the role of the caterpillar, and I start off the show with, "Who are you?"
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great sound drop. Oh, that's amazing. So I'll ask some similar questions that I asked the rabbit. He had to hop along. As the Caterpillar, as the role, this goes out to a lot of listeners here in Brevard, but also all over the country and a few that are all over the world. If there's something that the Caterpillar can tell those listeners for coming to see Alice in Wonderland here at the Playhouse, what would you tell them?
Well, let's see. I would tell them that the caterpillar, all a caterpillar wants to do is find out who Alice is. Very, very inquiring mind. The caterpillar gets very grumpy and gets a little temperamental.
Yeah.
And also has a tendency to want to give Alice good advice. And in today's political climate, sometimes the advice is pretty much apropos to what's going on in our country.
You draw some similarities.
So I would say that not only with my character, but with some of the other characters who are determined that they're right no matter what, I think they would find it very enjoyable to come and watch the performance and maybe figure out a few things themselves. It's a little political, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we've got a lot of listeners that have gone to see a few of the plays in the area. They came with me to see...
The Ritz?
Yeah, the Ritz. Thank you. A few of them came with me to see the Ritz. We loved it. We absolutely loved it. I love supporting local community and coming out and helping you guys. All right. So, while you were doing the preparation for this role in front of the Cocoa Beach audience, were there any highlights or struggles that you had to do for developing your character, or
Well, not necessarily developing the character, but I am rolled on stage in a giant mushroom, which is probably 4 or 5 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
And I'm standing in the mushroom. The audience can only see the upper part of my body. And on top of the mushroom is a hookah.
Nice.
And I really didn't know what a hookah was. So I had to go to one of these smoke shops to find out what it looked like. And then I had to learn how to smoke it. And that was interesting. So I get rolled on the stage smoking a hookah and blowing interesting vapor into the air as I'm talking to Alice.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a challenge.
Yeah,
to
no
learn how
kidding.
to smoke the hookah.
Yeah. I would imagine that's not something that's an everyday common kind of thing. It's not a very mainstream item.
I don't think so. At
you-
least not in my generation.
When you walked into the shop and asked them, told them what it was for, did they were like, well, this is the first time we've ever had this, how bad?
Well, I walked in and I said, I'm in a show and I have to smoke a hookah. What does a hookah look like? Well, he said, you're surrounded by them.
Yeah.
So he showed me what they looked like, and it's interesting. They range in price from maybe $30-$40 up to, I guess, thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you can get pretty elaborate. You can get pretty elaborate hookahs.
Right.
Any last message you want to send out to the listeners, especially in Brevard, but the listeners we've got worldwide?
Well, I think probably the message I want to send out is this show is not just for kids. It's a wild ride for adults and kids as well. So I think every generation will enjoy this production of Alice in Wonderland.
Excellent.
Come see us.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. That was our short interview with the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. All right, so we're sitting back here. So we've seen the White Rabbit, and now we've seen the caterpillar, and now we've got from Alice in Wonderland the mock turtle.
Yeah, that's me. Hi.
How are you?
I'm Rhett Pennell, but I play the mock turtle in Surfside Playhouse production of Alice in Wonderland.
Nice.
But but Mock Turtle isn't a character people know much about. It wasn't in the Disney movie.
I was going to say, I've never read the book. I've only seen the Disney movie or the remake from, what's his name?
Tim Burton.
Yeah, Tim
Right,
Burton. I don't
right.
remember seeing a mock turtle.
Well, he pops up occasionally. I know Cary Grant did the voice for him in a black and white version long ago,
Really?
and in a miniseries version back in 1999, Gene Wilder
Yep.
played the Mock Turtle. So he's got a good pedigree going there. So,
Nice.
So there's no shame here.
No,
And,
you're filling some big shoes there.
I hope so, and a big shell too. The mock turtle is
Yes, that's
basically
right.
a large, basically a giant turtle with some cow parts mixed in. Because the deal being, mock turtle soup is made from beef. Actually.
Oh, wow.
So the character is always presented with some horns and some hooves and so he's a very odd cow turtle monster thing that for some reason the Queen of Hearts sends Alice to go in and talk to, because apparently the mock turtle is full of wisdom.
I was going to say wise.
Don't look too closely at that part of this.
Wise
I don't-
beyond his shell? maybe?
all I do is cry, so I'm not sure how wise. All I do is cry and very sadly talk about my days and going to school under the sea, and somehow that there's wisdom in there somewhere.
Nice.
But I guess anything in this Lewis Carroll masterpiece, gotta look kind of. The wisdom is there, but it's really kind of quirky and twisted about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've asked this question to the other characters that have come up as well. During the preparation for this role, was there anything that was unusual that you had to prepare for, either fun or like stressful? Was there anything that was unusual for your role here?
Well,
to the Cocoa Beach
just
audience?
getting used to the fact that I'm not going to have any hands for the show. I have these big turtle flippers.
Oh, wow, okay.
So even when I didn't have them, I'd kept my hands and basically just unified, flipper type things. And I've got a big shell on. So basically, you're acting through the costume.
Yeah, understood.
So a lot of fun. I got to sing. I get a little song. I get to emote terribly melodramatically. So it's a fun little. I mean, the whole play is full of fun little vignettes. Basically, everybody gets there. There are a few minutes to come on and shine.
Awesome.
It's they're describing it as a community show, because they've packed the cast with as many people as they could.
Sure.
We're all sitting back there in the green room waiting for our time to come out and shine. It's a very large cast, so there's a lot of love there.
Nice.
So
this community theater is probably one of the most tightly bonded group that I've seen. You guys are all real close here. It's
seems
impressive.
my family moved down here a couple of years ago. For the first year we were here, we didn't know anybody in the area.
Sure.
Until we became part of last year's melodrama here at the Surfside Playhouse, and now we have a whole community of people we know. So it's a great way to get out there and socialize and get to know the area.
Awesome. If there's anything you can tell the listeners to get them to want to come down to see the theater, to see the productions, what would you tell them?
It's a fun show. It's a wild ride, and there's something for everybody. There's some kids and adults. There's wit. There's songs. There's dancing. There's just plain weirdness. I mean, Alice in Wonderland is such a part of the culture. All the White Rabbit and going down the rabbit hole, and it's it's fun to be a part of something that's lasted so long and will keep lasting for years to come.
Well spoken. That was almost like it was written. But that was good. All right. Well, awesome. So that was our interview with the Mock Turtle.
Thank you very
Rhett,
much.
We appreciate it and looking forward to watching the show.
But please come out.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we've heard from 3 of the characters of the show. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should be down on a knee at this point, bowing. I'm not sure, but we have an interview now with the Queen of Hearts.
Hello.
How are you? I'm Adam. Nice to meet you.
I am the queen.
I feel like I should be kissing a ring. So tell us a little bit about your role in this. And now, most people, I'm going to imagine, know the Queen of Hearts.
Right.
However, what's we had a listener that has never even seen the Alice in Wonderland show. What would you tell them about the Queen?
Oh, let's see. She's in control of everything, pretty much everything. And she is 50 Shades of Terror. She frightens everybody. She takes advantage of those who are weak, and she loves it. And those who stand up to her, well, they need to be punished. And as she says, off with their heads.
Yep.
So she's pretty much...
Are we going to be expecting to see any lopping off of heads during this particular performance?
Oh, I don't want to spoil that for anybody. I really don't. But there are definitely threats. And so sometimes her bark is her bite.
Nice.
But we never know. Is she going to chop off their heads? Or is it all talk? I don't know. You'll have to come and see for yourself.
So we've heard some character development from the White Rabbit and the Caterpillar in preparations for their roles. Something as exotic as going up to a smoke shop to learn how to use a hookah and, all sorts of things. Is there any preparation that was needed that you needed to put in for learning your character and prepping yourself to deliver the role of the queen?
I try not to watch anything like the Johnny Depp movie or even the cartoon because we're trying to not be like that other entity.
Sure.
That did those, which we shall not name.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I actually drew upon people I knew from my past who were like that, and
we've all had a queen in our past,
yes,
quote unquote.
Yes, drawing from their rage and everything, and so that's pretty much what I did, and
that's awesome. So if you've got, I've asked every character this question. If you could talk to the audience that is in Cocoa Beach specifically, we have listeners who are in Cocoa Beach, but we also have them all over the Central Florida, all over the U.S., and all over the world.
Oh, awesome.
What would you tell them to get them to come out to see a show here at the Cocoa Beach Surfside Players Theater? Jesus.
For this show?
Sure.
Well, it's very colorful. It's the set, the costumes, the makeup, the people. We're quite a colorful bunch. I have to tell you that. Everything about the show is great.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. We're sitting on stage and we're looking at this backdrop, and the work is impeccable.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
I wish I could take it home and put it up on a wall or have it framed or something like that. It's the energy and the actors. We have so many wonderful actors who have been here forever, or new people, up and comers. They're amazing, and they're so much fun to work with, and it's very inspiring. So you might come to the show and be inspired by it in some way or another.
The first show I saw here was the Ritz a few weeks back, and loved it.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Yeah, it was.
That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see this. Okay, is there anything you want to say before we let you go as the queen?
Come to the show, or you be punished. Off with that.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, very cool. Thank you very much for the interview. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. All right, well, very cool. So we've heard from several of the characters now, and now we've got the mouse. So hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very, very well. What's your name, by the way, for our listeners to know?
Athena.
Athena.
Yeah.
So Athena is playing the mouse, and you're in full costume.
I am.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That looks fantastic.
Big fan of my curly tail.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your role in Alice? What do you do for those who might not have seen Alice before?
Well, basically, Alice is on stage and she's drowning in her own tears at this point. Everything's going wrong. She's confused. She's in a new world. My character comes on stage and tells her to stop crying and to stop complaining. And then Alice goes on about how much she loves her cat, which is obviously very distressing for my character, as I am a mouse. And then I sing jazz.
And then you sing jazz.
And I sing jazz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that takes a little different direction, but that's awesome.
Yeah. It's unexpected, but I think it's a really fun part.
Oh, very cool. Do you have a background in musical theater? And
I do, yes.
do you? Perfect.
And doing musical theater for a long time.
Nice. So developing your character and prepping for this particular role, was there any hurdles or challenges or, obstacles that got in your way that maybe were difficult to overcome that you had to learn for this character?
Well, when I first got the call that I'd been cast, I didn't know what I was cast as. Like, I knew I was a mouse, but my dad read Alice in Wonderland to me when I was little,
Sure.
but I didn't really hear, and I was like, I'm the what? So I called my friend, and I'm like, I'm the mouse. And they're like, the dormouse? And I'm like, no, the mouse. And they're like, cool. And so I went back and I actually read the book again. And I was like, oh, that's such a cool character I've been cast as. I can't believe I didn't remember who I was.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't think I've never read the book. I've seen the movies, and I've got a bad memory, so maybe that's my problem. But
Me too.
no, that's awesome. So if you could tell, first of all, how many shows have you done here with the Surfside Players?
Well, I've been in the kids program for about 2.5 years now, almost 3. But I've only done 3 shows. This is my 3rd show with the adults here.
Okay. If you could tell our listeners, and this goes out to most of our listeners are Brevard County and Central Florida, but it also goes worldwide. If you could tell those listeners some kind of encouragement or something to draw them into the theater here, what would you tell them?
Reading the book and watching the movie are really great. It's a really good story, but there's something so magical about seeing it come to life on stage. It's incredible every single time.
That's a fantastic answer. You didn't write that down ahead of time. Hang on a minute, did you?
No.
I'm just kidding. That's a great answer. So some of the other characters had to do some pretty extravagant things to prep themselves for the show in Cocoa Beach, learning how to smoke a hookah.
I definitely did not have to do
Watching rabbit videos to learn the characteristics and the movements of, large rabbits and things like that. Was there anything that you did to learn techniques of being nimble or of being coy or anything for developing your character?
Mostly I just listened to a lot of jazz.
Did you?
It was the best prep for a show ever.
Do you have a particular favorite that you like for jazz?
Well, I know she's not I don't know. I listened to a lot of Aretha Franklin before.
Aretha Franklin. Nice.
I like all of the soul in her voice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a fantastic artist. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, okay. Is there anything else you want to tell our listeners about the show?
Just come see it. The cast has put so much work and effort into this, and I know they've all prepared for this for a long time. It's just an amazing show.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, very cool. That is the interview with the mouse, and your name is Athena.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
We've heard from several of the characters, and now we have, and I'm surprised you didn't come out here after your nemesis, the Queen, but we have Alice from Alice in Wonderland. So thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And just so our listeners know, what's your real name? You're
Sage Parrish.
Sage. All right, Sage. Well, awesome. All right, so you're Alice. What is your role? For those who might not have ever heard the story, just give a real short, what Alice is in the midst of this whole story.
Alice is just an average girl. She's pretty curious about many things, and she falls into a crazy world with many quirky, fun people around her.
Yeah, absolutely. We heard, I was talking to the rabbit a little while ago, and he said, if it wasn't for him, none of this would even happen. If he wasn't there, Alice would never hop in that hole and would never discover that land. Well, that's awesome. Were there any, in developing your character, were there any struggles or hurdles that you had to go through in learning how to be the Alice that you want to portray to the Cocoa Beach audience?
I definitely had to work a little bit on being formal. She's not super formal, but she definitely has self-manners, I would guess you could say.
Sure.
So that was a little bit of a difficulty, but I really think that it was fun to try to find who she was.
If you had the opportunity to talk to your audience before they come out here to see your show, these are the folks in Cocoa Beach and Brevard County, if you had a chance to tell them something before they came out to see it, what would you tell the audience? How would you deliver a message to them to encourage them to come out and see it?
Well, I just really think it's a really great show that people have put so much work into. It's been a long way to come, and it's been really fun, and it's just such a fun show to come see that I really think a lot of people would enjoy it, of all ages, really.
Excellent. Yeah, I keep hearing that referenced, is that it's not just a show for kids, that adults and you know, it appeals to all ages.
Yeah, it definitely has multiple layers to it. I mean, obviously kids can come see it and they'll see the funny caterpillar and they'll see things like that. But also there's lots of like little details to it that make that an adult would really like to see, and they could understand it a little bit more almost.
Yeah, sure. A little bit of adult comedy that maybe would go over the heads of young children.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. So out of your experience in rehearsals and, you know, what you guys have done so far, what's your favorite character? What do you like?
Favorite character?
Yeah.
I really like the caterpillar, and I like the caterpillar and the mock turtle.
The mock turtle? Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely funny. They both took some very like interesting takes on the roles, and it's really funny.
Yeah, I was talking to the caterpillar, and she's got some interesting character research that she had to do for this role. So that's awesome. That was really, really cool.
Like everybody put like so much thought, I feel like, into how they wanted to portray their characters and stuff. It's really great.
So during your performance here, do we get to hear a lot of musical numbers out of you as well? Are you singing in this role, or is it acting?
I sing once. I actually sing with the griffin and the mock turtle.
Nice.
And it's not a musical, but there are some musical numbers in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. It's a nice little blend of music and stage performing and acting.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much. Is there any last messages you want to tell to our audience?
I just really hope you all come down to see it. It's a great show.
Okay. I certainly am, and I'm going to try to bring a few of my friends. You guys are airing it tonight or today, and then you're also going to be airing it next weekend as well. So this will go out tonight, so our audience won't be able to hear this for today's performance, but they will for next weekend's performance.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday night, and a Sunday matinee.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Alice. We appreciate your interview. I'm looking very, very forward to seeing you up on stage.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're sitting here now with the frog.
My name is Moishi, and I am the frog footman in Alice in Wonderland, and that means I get to sit around and complain a lot.
Your outfit, your skin is absolutely awesome, I must say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have to really shout out to Kim in our costume designer. She's fantastic. I got a great suit. And of course, the one and only Pat Carlson. Let's hear it for Pat.
All right, Pat.
For my head. She gave me a great head, and it's big, and the wobbly eyes. And really have to come out and see it. If you're going to come out to see one thing in the show, see my eyes.
See you. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So if there's anything you can tell the audience that's listening right now to encourage them to come out, what would you like, other than your eyes, what would you like to tell them?
Well, it's a good story. It's about a obnoxious little girl who goes where she shouldn't go, and she gets trapped where she shouldn't be, and then she starts just asking things around and making a general nuisance of herself, and then eventually she gets kicked out, and we send her away, and it's a good show. It's very funny in funny parts, and very sad in sad parts, and it's a good show.
Damn those kids always getting into trouble.
Darn those kids.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, so in preparation for this show and showing the Cocoa Beach audience your guys' performance, was there any character development that you had to work on in preparation for the frog?
None at all.
None?
No,
you're a character actor.
This is how I talk. I'm a frog. I'm a Jewish frog. I grew up listening to Jackie Mason.
Vashugana.
And this is me. I love Surfside. Surfside is a home. It's the true community theater. There are other community theaters around in the community, but Surfside is the true community theater.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's you're definitely a character, Steve.
Thank you.
Frog.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's Adamaka, right?
Yeah, we'll
Adamaka.
Adamaka.
Nice to meet you, Adamaka.
You got to pronounce the yes.
Boy, what happened to him? He spoke Yiddish. So one thing I want to say is that we are having a special. It's $25 a person for the adults, and 12 and under, you get in for a little bit. If you're a tadpole, and it's only $10 a person.
Nice. $25. What are the times for the performances?
8 o'clock on Friday and Saturday nights, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon for Sunday matinee.
For Sunday matinee. Okay, yeah, I'm for sure going to be bringing our little group of friends out to see this. This is going to be a blast.
Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so is there anything else you want to send a message to the audience before they show up?
If you enjoy the show, bring flies, because there's never too many flies. I like flies. And again, special thanks to Pat and Kim, and of course Brian Bergeron, the director. He's a great guy. He's a real mensch. And of course our lighting girl,
Sony, right?
Sony, she's fantastic. She puts a green spot on me when I need it, and then she also does the light on me when I need it. So.
All right. Well, very cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Frog. We appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing you.
Sei gesund.
Yeah, Gesundheit. Yes.
Thank you.
We'll go with that.
Shalom Aleichem.
Awesome. For a full schedule of shows as well as where to buy tickets, please visit surfsideplayers.com. We would love it if you were to help support local community theater of Cocoa Beach, Surfside Players.